Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, I'm Elke. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an author and a fiction book coach. And I'm sharing with you this video. This is the third video in a 4-part video series that I'm doing where I'm sharing tips for helping you to reset your writing life. Now, if you haven't checked out the other videos in the series, you can check those out on my YouTube channel, and I will leave the link for that in the video below so that you can go check those out for yourself. All right, so today's video is all about... A lot of times during this time of the year, we get excited, it's the beginning of the year, we're gonna write our books and everything's gonna be fabulous until we actually dive in and start reading our books. And then we realize all the challenges and then all the things that happened that kept us from writing the book. And oftentimes that can derail us before we even get started. So I'm gonna share with you some tips on how to tackle that. The first thing that you can do is to forgive yourself for past mistakes. This is a big one because oftentimes we tend to think that it's me, it's all my fault, this is why I'm not finishing it. And forgive yourself, because when the truth is that you can't change what's happened. You can't change the fact that last year you didn't finish your book. And dwelling on that fact really only just keeps you stuck and keeps you from moving forward and being able to finish your book, which is where you want to get to, right? And the truth is, unless you've got a time machine, you can't go back in the past and change it. And if you do have a time machine, please call me. I would love to go on a ride. All right? So the second tip is to identify what went wrong. And this is really important because a lot of times, as I mentioned earlier, we think that there's something wrong with us instead of focusing on specifically what went wrong with why I wasn't able to finish. Maybe it was just crap hit the fan, right? I mean, we are in a pandemic. Maybe it was just a poor writing schedule. Maybe it was something that you didn't do enough research, so your scenes fell flat, or your characters, you didn't spend enough time with them. And identify specifically what went wrong, because when you do that, then you can focus on solutions and steps that you can take to actually fix the problem instead of beating up on yourself. You can look at it objectively because it's a problem that you can figure out how to solve, all right? And the third is to review where you're at. And what this allows, clear about where you are with your book and actually how much work is needed. Sometimes we think, oh my gosh, there's just too much to do, I can't do it. But when you are able to look at where you're at, then you can say, okay, this is what I need to do. These are the steps that I need to take. And looking at it, whether you need to look at it from a big picture, I need to get clarity about what is this book about and maybe create a premise and go from there. Or maybe it means you need to dive deeper into your characters. You need to maybe review your outline. Whatever that means for you for reviewing and figuring out where you're at. Because that's really going to help you to figure out, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what's wrong, this is what I need to do in order to fix it and move forward. And that's really what you want to be able to do. The last, but certainly not the least, is to embrace the lessons that you learned. Take ownership of doing it better the next time. And this is huge because it's important to look at what's happened as a lesson and not necessarily a failure, because when you look at it from the perspective of what lesson did I learn from not finishing my book this year? And also, once you know what that lesson is, you can say, okay, I'm going to take ownership of this and I'm going to make sure that I need to do what I need to do so that I'm not repeating this and I'm not staying stuck. And when you do that, it really makes a huge difference, taking that ownership as well as looking at something from the perspective that it's a lesson. Because I find when you look at it as a lesson, you take ownership, you are actually, you can create a plan to say, okay, this is a lesson that I learned. This is what I need to do or not do to move forward so that I don't keep in this cycle of perpetuating those same mistakes. I'm going to do better. I'm going to take responsibility and not just, it's too easy to say, well, it's my fault, I didn't do it. But when you take ownership, then you can say, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do to move forward. And that's really an important step that's needed. Right. So what about you? What changes are you going to make this year to improve your writing life? Please let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear all about them. Also, I wanted to share with you about a workshop that I am hosting this month, and it's called the Author Planning Day. And what it is, it's a live 3-hour session with me where I walk you through how to create your plan for this year to achieve your writing goals. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your goals and set the ones that are going to make the biggest impact, as well as identify what keeps you from achieving those goals. The second thing we're going to look at is your mindset, and what I'm going to help you to do is to identify some what I like to call badass writer habits that you're going to need in order to achieve your goals. With regards to your books, I'm going to help you to map them out and figure out how you're going to write as well as launch them into the world. And last but certainly not least, we're going to create a roadmap that is going to help you to get from where you are with your writing life to where you want to be with achieving your goals in the new year. So I will leave that link for that workshop in the comments to see if it's a good fit for you. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.